Princess of Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and we are here for another episode of Amphibia Season 3. And we are specifically getting to episode 13 today. The continued fight, the continued rebellion, continues. And we are going to see just, I guess, how it further progresses from here. We also ended last time, I believe, with about to find out the mother of Ohms, getting to meet her and finding out like what her deal is. I'm very excited to find that out because this is something that's been built up since earlier in the season, and technically since even longer, considering we met the Ohms siblings back in season 2. So it's going to be interesting to find out the truth and find out what this is going to have to do with everything else going on. Overall, I'm very excited to see more Sasha because of, her importance lately. She's been super important to the story as of late, a really key player. But I also do want to see more of Darcy as well. Because comparatively, we obviously didn't get as much Marcy as we have with Sasha and Anne, which is a little disappointing, admittedly. So I'm hoping we at least see more Darcy as this goes along. But we'll see. The one big difference between when Sasha and Marcy were introduced is that when Sasha was introduced, it's kind of like drip fed us for a little bit. While Marcy, it's like she's introduced and then she's just kind of a mainstay character for a while. So it was kind of a different way of bringing in these two characters to the story. But either way, I feel like overall we've still gotten more Sasha. And again, Sasha's my favorite character, but still, I would like to see more Marcy, or at least as Darcy as well. Though I want to see more actual Marcy too, of course, but I don't know if we're going to get much more of that. Considering. Either way, I don't know what to expect going forward. I don't know what we're going to get this time, so we're just going to begin this and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so another really good episode. We have the mother of Ohms, and we had Grimes' pupil. The mother of Ohms was a pretty good segment here where we get to meet the mother of Ohms and find out that because of her age and all, she has not remembered the prophecy that she's supposed to tell them. So in order to remember it, she has the gang, sans Hot Pop, go inside of her ear and into her brain to rub some memory cream on it. They do so with Sasha having the worst possible time and end up getting chased by a pack, I guess you could say, of what were they? Bat creatures? Mosquitoes, that's what it was. And it's like, why is that a thing? Why? But they managed to escape, then the mosquitoes escape through the other ear, and Sasha and the kids get trapped inside of Mother Ohms' nose. So Hop Pop has to make a concoction to get her to sneeze them out, and they get the prophecy about how 3 stars from another world will come to save them and everything. Those stars obviously being Anne, Sasha, and Marcy, and that they're supposed to stop the evil and save the world with everything that's going on right now. So yeah, that's fun. And there was even the little discussion about the ancient mines that created Darcy and all. I forgot like if it had a name, but they don't even know about Darcy yet. So this should be interesting once they find out. But yeah, it was a very important episode, obviously, giving us the prophecy and capitalizing on a lot of this lore that we've built up. But also contained some like more fun, like episodic stuff in it too. So it was very successful in that regard. But let's talk about the second half of this episode, Grimes' pupil. So Grime and Sprig are sent to try and recruit Grimes' sister to join the resistance and have her army join them. It ends up going wrong, and Sprig gets challenged to a cage match, basically. Although Grime is the one who initiates the challenge, his sister is the one who is allowed to choose her opponent due to wartime law. And so she chooses Sprig. Because apparently he beat Grime before, and she hears about that, and it's like, oh, well then, I'm gonna face you, because she doesn't believe it, and she just thinks that it means just that Grime has just gone soft. So Grime has to train him up for the fight, but he and Sprig don't get along super well, and eventually Grime has to learn that him trying to train Sprig as a toad isn't working. That he has to utilize Sprig's natural frogginess, such as his speed and everything, instead. So they kind of combine their strengths and create an entirely different and new fighting style that centers around the speed and agility of the frogs with the power of the toads. This eventually allows Sprig to defeat Grimes' sister and win her respect, as well as her agreement to join the army during the war. So it all works out in the end. Grimes' pupil was a little weaker to me, personally. I just feel like the bickering between Grime and Sprig was a little blah, for lack of a better way to put it. It just got very old very quick. And I just kind of like, I didn't find it really amusing after pretty much the first time. And it all ended well. The fight was good and everything, as short as it was. But it didn't really impress me as much as other segments. The first segment was definitely the better one. Just with the prophecy and everything, and Sasha being constantly grossed out by everything was hilarious. Though the second segment did have Sasha cheerleading, and that's as well as Hop Pop cheerleading too, which is just fantastic. I'm actually one of those people who like really stands up for cheerleaders, because there's people out there who treat cheerleading as if it's like lesser than other things and everything. Like, they don't consider cheerleading like a sport, and that irritates me, because it's like cheerleading takes just as much practice and physical ability as pretty much any sport. Cheerleading requires a lot of physical strength, skill, speed, adaptability. Not to mention, you need to have a lot of balance. It takes a lot of training. Cheerleading is impressive, and I will always stand up for cheerleaders in that regard. So I'm just really am glad to see that this strong, capable warrior character is also a cheerleader. I like that. I really like that combination. I think it really it's not what you normally see in a lot of media. In a lot of media, usually the cheerleader character is kind of prissy and scared of like actual like physical confrontation and stuff. And so it's like I like that they're doing something completely different and something that is just a lot more cool, you know? Maybe that's just me. And it's not just because of my love for Sasha as a character, um, though that does help. Um, I just really, really like the concept of that and how it's handled as well. Um, Plus, I just loved seeing all of them in the cheerleading outfits. That was adorable. But yeah, this was another good episode. While one segment was very much better than the other, I didn't like hate the Grimes people segment. It's just the bickering got old like right away. But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts either way. Tell me what you thought of this episode of Amphibia down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.